fear and panic. When those things are in someone's eyes, you can see it a mile off. Then someone was running fast, and I realized it was my dad. That pool held 1,250,000 gallons of water. That's a lot. My dad said it was one of the biggest in the world, but I don't know if that was true or he was making his job out to be more important than it was. But he ran a full 150 yards and straight into the small copse before the fence just past the deep end. The deep end was 15 feet deep. I don't know what that is in meters or yards, but it's deep. You won't hit your head on the bottom even if you dive off the top board, which is pretty high. He ran straight past me, and I was shocked at his speed and the power of his body in a fast sprint. I'd never seen him go like that before. I half turned away as he almost hit me. He sure wasn't going to go around me at that pace. His bare brown feet struck the ground and lifted again like an Olympic sprinter, with dust lifting from every footfall. He was wearing little swimming briefs and a spotted print like a leopard, and a washed-out orange t-shirt with lifeguard right across the chest. One day, I wanted one of them shirts. People respected a man who wore one of them shirts, and they were always sun-warmed. You could pick one out of the drawer in midwinter and hold it to your face and feel the sun on it. They radiated summer, and that's a magical ability. They even smelled warm. He went so fast he was almost in flight, his feet hardly touching the ground at all, and his arms pumping, and boy could he run. And he jumped clean over a lazy swimmer who climbed out of the water like a fat old seal in the sunshine and was stuck on his fat stomach trying to gain his feet, and he cleared him easy. Other men joined in the race, and everyone still in the water and on the sides stopped their playing to watch and slowly gather to see. I went after him. I tried to make my feet strike the ground like his, lifting them the very instant they touched the ground and flicking them up behind me and raising my knees high like he did. I was trying to make dust fly. I was slow compared to him, but there was a satisfying flick of dust behind me, and I looked back and see it and heard it slide under me. Other lifeguards ran too, but not like him. Mostly they ran to be second at the event, to witness history, but he ran to change it. I could tell. I saw him slow as he passed the first whistleblower who was pointing and speaking with his voice loud and panicking, and his face filled with fear, and my dad kind of bounced and pivoted around him, hearing all the story he needed, then went into the copse past the pool. I saw him climb a big old mossy oak tree, just a glimpse through the heavy foliage. I ran harder, but I was so slow, and I hated being slow. I wanted to see why my dad was climbing trees. He climbed easy and seemed to almost swarm it, like he was rippling up over it and climbing it like a wind climbs a hill. I saw him in those glimpses through the trees, and he was fast. I got there late, but soon enough to see a big man, fattest and palest I ever seen, fall to the ground, and my dad jumped down beside him. The fat man crashed, but my dad landed light as a cat. The fat man was so pale he was like a fat and dimply human-shaped candle that had softened in the sun and lost its intended shape. His skin looked like it was made of candle wax too, old candles starting to yellow. I saw candles that colour at my Nana's funeral. They didn't look good on a human being, and death close up is not like in the movies. Death close up is a cold and heartless hard bastard. Everyone should hate death. There ain't no sweetness in death. The man was in swimmers, and now he was lying in the dry leaves and acorns that had been there since autumn and winter. Beside him was a rope and noose, and I could see how he had tied its bitter end onto the lower limb of the tree and slung the noose end over a higher branch, then climbed up and done the deed. His white foot had a cut where bark had opened the soft skin. There was moss under his fingernails where he'd scrambled up one last scramble, and blood and skin under his nails too, like coils of fine cotton, and deep scratch marks all around his throat where he had fought the choking and tried to take back the hanging and changed his mind, or maybe the horror and pain of it made him fight, or he saw death and realized what a heartless cold fucker he is, and I heard my dad say that, and he never swore before, and I didn't understand it at first, but hearing it made the whole thing even worse. I could see where my dad had cut the rope to fell the man. I knew he had a knife. He always had a knife, even in his swimmers. An old liner lock knife, smooth-handled and razor-sharp, older than me. It wasn't a weapon. It was a tool. And it was a live blade.